what a beautiful song we like to start the show with, and the credit for that goes to Crosby, Still and Nash, and it's a matter of some pride for us to be able to go on the air and with a beautiful sound to start the show off in. And well, we're not paying for the song. I know it's just something we ripped off, but it's something you choose a nice song, you're proud of it anyhow. Now we go from being so proud and everything to the statement of shame that now today we got a show, we're just another lousy computer show, and math is not about computers. This is supposed to be Math with Marty, and computers is not math. And I'm embarrassed to be here promoting the computer industry, but here I am. Although I must say that I bought this thing a couple months ago, first time I owned a computer, and I was a little bit unhappy that the cheapest computer in the store was still one of these big size models with the big high computer, not those little low sleek ones that you get nowadays. Those low profile computers with the 3.5-inch drive, and I got these big ugly 5 1/4 drives, and it was the cheapest computer in the store. But the salesman, he was good. He turned it right around. He said, "Yeah, I know that." He says, "These computers, they're going to look out of date in a couple years." But the thing is, no, he didn't say that. I was saying that. I said, you know, you get these big computers instead of these low small ones. I said, it's going to look so old in a couple of years. It's going to be out of style. And he says, "Yeah, but the thing is, they're like a battleship. You can put a cup of coffee on it. You can spill stuff on it." He says, and salesmen are beautiful that way. They turn something around and put a positive light on it. Anyhow, you want me rambling away. You want me to get to the point of what I'm doing here with my computer on TV. And the fact is, this show belongs to my brother-in-law. He was a hell of a guy, and his name is Peter Gannon. And he used to live in Winnipeg, and he married my sister, Kathy. Not the sister who's on the show, but my other sister, Kathy. And they moved to Hamilton, and they're both MDs, and they're making a fortune there on house calls. They're in house call business in Hamilton, and but Peter is a tremendous musician and a heck of a bright guy, and he's come up with a computer program which he wrote the program, and he's selling it, and he's selling it all over the world now. He sells it through magazine ads. The program is called Band in a Box. And it's called Band in a Box, and what it means is the computer is your band. Now, Peter put himself through medical school in part by playing in bands throughout Winnipeg and eastern Manitoba. He was with some guys from Beausejour that used to be called the BJs, and they played the wedding circuit, and they did legions and stuff, and Peter knows the music scene. But after, you know, he played fill-in for this band and that band, and what he found is that there's good musicians around there, there's guys that can sing, there's guys that can play their instrument, but he was never all that happy with the total quality of the rhythm section that he have. I'm talking about the bass and drums, and now I'm insulting all kinds of members of my audience who are professional musicians working the circuit, playing bass and drums. But the fact is that you go on a job and you start playing a song, you're asking the drummer to read your mind, for one thing. You're asking him to pick up on the feel of the song in the first few bars, because he doesn't know what song you're going to play. And as often as not, the guy is got his own idea of what kind of rhythm he wants to be putting in a song. And he's not really doing exactly what you want to be doing. So hence, the drum machine. Okay, guys go out and they buy a drum machine. And then the rap against the drum machine is, oh, the drum machine is just a bunch of canned rhythms. It doesn't sound like a real drummer. But Peter figured out that a drum machine wouldn't have to be all that smart to do a better job than like 3/4 of the actual drummers he'd played with. And you know, now again I'm insulting musicians better than I am who play on the circuit, and this is not what I'm trying to do. I'm saying this is the genesis of the idea that the guy is playing on stage and the bass player is hitting the wrong note, and I'm not trying to insult the bass player, but I'm saying the guy who invented this program is my brother-in-law. He wrote the program because he figured a computer wouldn't hit the wrong notes. And it wouldn't take all that much smarts in terms of the computer to be able to figure out, you know, a few colorful things that are going to add some zip to the song. So it would be just as good as having an actual real bass player. And then you wouldn't have to pay them their salaries, okay? Because, you know, if you're going to Legion, you gotta give them, what, $60 a night, or what are you going to give the guy? You'd be able to keep that for yourself. You take the computer on the job, okay? So he's got his library of songs in here. Now Peter is originally oriented from jazz music. So he's put the most intelligence into his jazz arrangements. And we'll call up this one, and it's one of his jazz songs. And here's how the computer plays. Okay. Sounds kind of nice, eh? I'm going to kill the melody, which I can do. Now what we got now playing is the bass, piano, and drums. I'll bring the melody back, because I can do that. Bass is going to start walking here. Watch this. Oh, they got the bass notes up on the screen. You can see the little B there flopping around is showing you with the bass melody. Now the bass is going to stop walking. I'm going to kill the piano and kill the melody. That's more for piano. Now we just got bass and drums. Now we'll hear that bass walking again. Here he goes. We can kill the drums, can we? Let's kill the drums. And bring them all back now. First the drums, and then the piano, and then the melody. Now I think he's playing melody on guitar, and I can change that. Let's change the melody instrument. See what else we got here. Distorted rock guitar. Okay. Violin's pretty good on this one. And let's try one more sound. How about the trumpets? Here's the trumpet now. Oh, it's kind of quiet. Trombone is a little louder. Okay, now you're saying, what the heck is going on? What are we seeing? What are we seeing? Now I got to tell you a little about what the program's doing. Okay, first of all, the quality of the musical instruments is not something my brother-in-law is responsible for. Okay, like the fact that the trombone sounds like a trombone. What we got in here is a product of the Roland Corporation, which is a synthesizer card that plugs into the computer. Now that card is responsible for the fact that the trombone sounds like a trombone, the violin sounds like a violin. Okay, but what the card doesn't do, the card doesn't decide what notes to play. Deciding what notes to play is something the computer's doing. And it's doing it based on the fact that you've input the chord chart. Okay, what you got here on the screen is a list of the chords in the song. Okay, G minor 7th, flat 5th, goes to C 7th, goes to F major 7th, etc., goes to G minor 7th. You put those in, and that's what, and if I change those chords, let's change G minor 7th, flat 5th to F sharp. Yeah, well, that'll sound pretty bad, F sharp. Just to show if I screw them all up. F major 7th, let's try E flat 7th. This will sound idiotic. Okay, C 7th, I'll change that to G 7th. Okay, which is to say, if you put it in a song, you put in these chords, you put them in right, and the song will sound okay. But now I just messed up his chords. There's all kinds of wrong chords in there now. Okay, just to show. Your record people would buy. Yeah, some people might buy that too. Okay, now. So if you're a musician, you know enough about music that you know what the structure of a song is in terms of the chords. You put the chords in, you call up a certain feel. Now this is called up in the jazz swing feel. I could go and change the feel on that too, and then I'd screw it up some more if I call it up in, let's see what kind of feels he's got here. Menu, page up, oh, numlock. Okay, why don't I get out of these jazz songs altogether? I could change the feel on this song, but instead I'll just go to some songs I already got the right feel chosen for. Get out of there. Escape, escape, F3. Page down, page down. Okay, these are all his jazz songs that he's got entered in there. Let's look at some country songs. Country, country, country is what we want to hear. I know what I got. I got a good one coming up. And he's got all kinds of different styles that you can call up for the songs, but here's a nice style. Song Jambalaya by Hank Williams. And he's got this one, I've chosen the bluegrass style for this. Now the funny thing about his bluegrass style, it's not really a bluegrass style, it was kind of a polka style when he started writing the style. What it means writing the style is that I put in the chords for the song. The chords are real simple. It just goes from G7 to C and back to G7, back and forth every couple bars. So the chords are real simple, but in terms of, you tell the musicians the chords and then they're going to start chunking away on the piano, playing a certain drum beat, but the actual notes they're hitting while they're playing, that's what constitutes giving it a feel. But they're still doing it based on a certain harmonic structure. Okay, so this one he calls bluegrass. It's not really a proper bluegrass style because he started off writing a polka style, and then he's got this thing, every style has got an A section and a B section to give the song a little variety, like in the middle part of the song, sometimes the beat perks up a little bit. So when he was doing this polka style, he tried putting some banjos in the middle section, and it sounded pretty bluegrass, so he named it bluegrass style. And we got Jambalaya fired up on bluegrass. Let's see how good this sounds. Now here's another thing, the words are going to come up this time. You can sing along. Here you go. Sing along with Matthew Marty. Goodbye, Joe. Me gotta go. Me oh my oh. Me gotta go. Pull the pirogue down the bayou. Now remember, I told you it's polka first, but the banjos are going to come in. Wait for them. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Now listen up. Here we go. Hear that chinky chinky chink? Big guitar, feel through jar and be gay-o. Son of a gun, gonna have big fun on the bayou. Now I'm gonna kill the melody. See Bordeaux, the place is buzzing. It's more fun to sing on. Kinfolk come to see Yvonne by the dozen. Dress in style, go hog wild, me oh my oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Here's that accordion again. I like that. Let's kill the instruments. Kill the piano. Oh, I got still strings in there. Let's hear that banjo. Oh, I killed the banjo. How did I do that? Son of it. There it is. That's the banjo I was talking about. And the song's all over. Okay. I like those banjo licks in there. And let's call up some more country songs. I got lots of good songs in here. Page down. Yeah, it's on a different menu. F3. What I hit now? Songbook. Yeah. Oh, here's a good one. You got to hear how good the fiddle sounds on this one. Here's a slow one. Ozark Mountain Jubilee. There's some real nice sounds on the synthesizer. Nice thing about this song is the fiddle. Oh, it's a real slow song. Where's my melody? Oh, I killed all my melodies now. Let's bring it back. There we go. Pretty good fiddle. I can hear the rooster crowing. It's a frosty morning. playing and talking at the same time. It's a tremendous thing. Anyhow, kill that song. Computer's playing my songs. Should I play some more songs? I mean, it's my show, okay? No one's gonna come up with. Let's look at the menu, see what we got here. One more song. Okay, let's do some kind of a country rocker. Country rocker. Okay, how about swinging? Okay, this is an outrageous song. Band in the Box. My brother-in-law wrote this program. There's a little girl in our neighborhood. Her name is Charlie Johnson, and she's really looking good. I have to go and see her, so I called her on the phone. I went on down to her house, and this was going on. Her brother was on the sofa, eating chocolate pie. Her mama was in the kitchen, cutting chicken up to fry. Her daddy was in the backyard, rolling up a garden hose. I was on the porch with Charlie, being in love down to my toes, and we were swinging. Yeah, we were swinging. Little Charlie, she's as pretty as the angels when they sing. I can't believe I'm out here on the front porch in the swing, just a swinging. Yeah. Well, that's enough of that one. Okay. This program is called Band in the Box, and what you do, you put in the chord chart for the song, and you call up a certain style. This is a straight blues style, and according to the style you called up and the chord chart you put in, it'll compose arrangement for all your rhythm instruments, your rhythm section, your piano, your organ, whatever, and then plays them out to any kind of MIDI compatible synthesizer or keyboard. In this case, we got the keyboard right built into the computer because it's on a card and it's plugged right into the computer. So it's a beautiful program, and it's a Manitoba success story. A homeboy from Winnipeg who has written this program, and he's selling it all over the world. And he sort of was second prize in the PC Magazine Technical Excellence Awards of Best Program of 1991 or something like that. I don't know what it was, but heck of a thing. And Peter Gannon, we wish you the best of continuing success with Band in the Box. And now let's get away from the computer and go to the big board and do a little math for a change, because you know, we always like to put a little math on the show. How much time we got left, guys? About 7 minutes. Okay, just enough for a real quick topic before we close out with one final song. You see, I've been nobody is fooled by this tie around my neck. Nobody actually thinks I'm wearing suspenders, right? I guess that's pretty sort of pretty faint hope, but what am I going to do? I guess I'm not fooling anybody. But I'm going to do a little math. I'm going to do some math, and topic for today, complex numbers. We've done this topic before, and I'm sure I haven't done it properly. But we've got to do it. We've got to do it. There's this thing we do in math where you got all the numbers laid out, and you say the real numbers go on this line from negative to positive. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and then we got the imaginary numbers going up here. I, 2i, and 3i. -i, -2i, etc. And then we fill up the plane with all kinds of numbers which are composite numbers, such as 2 plus I equals 2 plus I. Okay. So every point on the plane is represented by what we call a complex number, which is made up of a real part and an imaginary part. And people always say to me, I mean, these complex numbers, is that real, these complex numbers? They're just something the mathematicians have made up. And something about the complex numbers is that you come to believe in them after working with these things is you begin to believe they have just as much belonging in the universe of numbers as the ordinary numbers that everyone's heard of. You know, one of the key factors about the complex numbers is if we draw a circle in the complex plane whose radius is 1, we get a lot of funny things happening. Like, first of all, let's look at the cube roots of 1. We draw a 120-degree angle here, and 120 degrees here. Whoops, let's make it 120 degrees. And here, we take 3 points on the circle, set at equal angles of 120 degrees apiece, and according to the rules of complex algebra, this is a cube root of 1, this is a cube root of 1, and this is also cube root of 1. In other words, 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. This thing times itself 3 times is also 1, and this thing times itself 3 times is also 1. The 3 cube roots of 1 are equally spaced on the unit circle. Now it goes beyond this. If you talk about the 5th roots of 1, there's 5 points, and we draw them out equally spaced on the unit circle, and they make a pentagon. Oh, I've got to get rid of those points. Let's use the brush. Okay. Let's put 5 points on the unit circle, equally spaced. And you know, since there's 360 degrees in the full circle, that these points are all 72 degrees apart. And according to the rules of complex numbers, if you multiply this by itself 5 times, if you square it, it goes over here, and multiply it one more time through, another, again, by the 5th time you come back to where you started here at the point equal to 1. So we call this number, and we can locate it by trigonometry. Since the angle here is 72 degrees, since the angle is 72 degrees up to this vector, the distance down the bottom here, this distance here is the cosine of 72 degrees. And then the vertical distance up here is the sine of 72 degrees. Okay, but since it's a vertical distance, it's in the imaginary direction. To give it a direction, we multiply it by square root of minus 1, I. So this point here, the composite point, is called, in complex terms, cos of 72 degrees plus I, the square root of minus 1, times the sine of 72 degrees. Okay. Cos of 72 plus I times the sine of 72 degrees. And what I'm saying when I say it's the 5th root of 1, I'm saying if you take this number and raise it to the 5th power, it equals 1. And this fact is equally true of all the points on the unit circle which are equal multiples of this angle. So if you put in 144 degrees instead of 72 degrees, you raise that composite number to the 5th power, also equals 1. If you put in 216 degrees, raise it to the 5th power, also gets 1. There's 5 numbers in the complex plane, which when you take them to the 5th power, they equal 1. Funny thing. And I just for some reason thought that bit about the square roots of unity was something important that everybody should know. And it's come up on the show before, and for some idiotic reason I thought you should know it again. That just about does it for today's episode of Math with Marty. So let's go back to the computer, fire it up for one last song, and take her home with the country western stylings of Band in the Box, computer program which takes arrangements of country songs or jazz songs or pop songs or what have you, and plays them out through a computer in any kind of different style. Here's one, Ribbon of Darkness. I like this one. Whoops, hit the wrong key. Oh, okay, there we go. Gordon Lightfoot song, Ribbon of Darkness. Darkness over me.